Hello everyone, my name is JC Kurian. I'm the VMware lead at CDW Canada, and I'm there to help you understand more about the new VMware licensing model, as well as understanding your worries and your questions about it. We made this session to be an open discussion, so you will be able to listen to what VMware is doing, but also the CDW opinion on it, and there will be all your questions will be answered as well during at the end of the presentation. So, as a reminder, VMware was purposely excluded from this discussion so we CDW as your trusted advisor could provide the most honest feedback possible on the new licensing. And then well, let's talk about the new VMware licensing model, which is either software as a service, on-premise subscription, or the old model versus the old model, which is perpetual licensing. Let's compare the three model at the same time. One is the perpetual license. That's the current model. It works with CPU licensing, as you've all known about, and it's easy to manage because you only need to understand how many CPUs you have. And you can only you only need to renew support when you need to renew your uh, your your license. The subscription model is the new model that VMware is moving towards too. It's a core-based licensing, and at the same time, you can only buy in packs of 16 cores. So let's say you have a 20-core CPU, well, you need to buy 2 packs of 16. It's gonna be the full. It's gonna replace fully the perpetual licensing, and there won't be any perpetual licensing anymore. And one of our issue with it is with VMware also launching a software as a service licensing model, it may not be there for a long term. So, and the last model is the software as a service. So it's even newer than just a subscription, which was already used by other products. And it's connected to the VMware environment, and it's also by core as well, like the subscription model. And you can also only buy 16 core packs. It includes multiple products in a single license. As an example, vSphere Plus, which is the SaaS model for vSphere, is include also a base license for your vCenter is also included into that, and also a base license for Tanzu, which is the app modernization platform for VMware. And that's where VMware wants to go. So that's not that's the three models, and let's go towards the reasons for the change. The reasons for the change is there's positive intentions by VMware. It's providing you with a convenient option that alleviates the burden of managing all aspects of the solution on your own. It's to streamline the licensing process. It's also offering a wider range of package service to your needs from VMware perspective. It also wants you to, VMware also wants you to enhance your engagement within their ecosystem to offer you more comprehensive product options in the future. It introduced more products to expand your benefits on the service you get from VMware. It implements pricing adjustment to align with the value the customer sees, and it encourage customer to obtain support service as with perpetual licensing, you were not required to renew your support if you didn't need to. There's also some nuance on the reasons. It's it aims to streamline licensing by discontinuing options. So instead of only renewing, you need to renew all your licensing so you can still use the product. You can't use the product if you don't have licensing anymore. And it aligns to VMware's recurring revenue model. So that's also a nuance. And also, before, VMware stated that one CPU was 32 cores, but it now adjusted licensing parameters that one CPU is 16 cores. So it it degrades the licensing structure by 50%. It implements pricing adjustment to align with the value you see, but it's also the value that VMware sees. It encourages the customers to always renew because you need to use the product, but you also need to use the supports. And for some customers that have data residency requirements, most SaaS solutions currently are only in the United States, and the plan for Canada is far down the line. And about that question, about the hyperthreading doesn't affect the number of cores. It's only physical cores that is important for VMware. Our opinion on the matter is VMware is trying to get more money from all of you. So for us, CDW, it's not a move we really like. I'm even not liking it just from a perspective of looking at what VMware is doing, because we see we see the market in terms of CPU, what Intel and AMD comes out with CPUs, and we're like, yeah, so that means you want customer to spend more just to license their brand new servers instead of working with in line with what they said before. So CDW wasn't really happy about that. And at the same time, for me personally, as somebody who works a lot, who has a security mindset, this is a bad thing because the software as a service requires you to use services in the US, and with the Patriot Act, I don't like that at all because they can access the data you send to VMware from a security perspective, which is why when it comes to myself, I prefer to go with an option that's either fully on site or based in Canada and not and outside the United States. One promotion that VMware currently have for those who wants to move to this subscription model is they offer you a transfer from perpetual to subscription while giving you the missing cores up to 16 for free perpetually. So you would only be charged for 16 cores for, let's say, your 20 or 24 cores. And now we will have a more open discussion. So if you have any questions or want to have your opinion on things, you can use the chat window, and we will answer it as much as possible. Sounds like a crash grab? That's what we feel as well. Honestly, as I look at the basic CPUs, even the Intel Bronze or the the basic AMD Apex, 16 cores is nearly the base with the current generation. So it's really weird for us as well on that front. For the impact on robo licensing, Currently, VMware said they won't change it because they're already on a VM model for the robo licensing, but we don't know what's going to be 1 year from now. I'm trying to find answers, and even the VMware team doesn't have the answers that we see. Yes, the robo licensing currently still is perpetual, so you should be able to continue buying that. Uh, for now, the customer doesn't have to move to subscription, um, but in the future, I expect the complete removal of perpetual licensing. For the current fleet, I will. The question is, can we currently run the legacy CPU license until we need to replace the node? Yes. Just we don't know what VMware will change in the next 3-5 years. If they will say it's done or not. There's no end of life date. As somebody who goes to part the technical advisory boards, I was told in the next 3 years, CPU licensing will be completely removed from being renewed. Uh, but you also can't use yeah. I think from Explore this year, you won't be able to order new CPU license as well. For those who want to renew VI socket, I recommend that until they completely take it away. Yes. And Chris, yes, it would be nice to see just buying single cores instead of packs of 16. So, upgrading, let's say, a license wouldn't cost as much as buying a 16 core increment. That's for sure. It's just VMware decided to do a Microsoft of themselves and decided that the 16 increment was what they wanted. And yes, about the upgrade rights on perpetual, that's exactly the move to force the move to subscription. That's exactly my view. They will force and they will remove the subscription, the perpetual upgrade rights, most likely for vSphere 9, and force you to subscription. Like Ryan said, he answered the question in the chat, but yes, I expect from vSphere 8 will be the last one supporting the perpetual licensing.
Hey, JC, we have some questions that may have been missed. One of it was, will this impact the current fleet, or can we run the legacy CPU licenses until we need to replace the nodes?
Yes, you can continue running your CPU licensing until you need to either VMware won't support the renewal of the support, or you want to upgrade to a version that won't support the perpetual licensing.
Thank you. Another question we have is, so the options that are available to renew via socket, would you recommend that until they completely take it away?
Yes, we still completely recommend the perpetual licensing until the takeaway of them.
Yeah, I think it's they can do up till 3 years, right?
And Geraldo, they only do that because it's only until July 31st, and VMware is only gonna renew according to your current numbers of core. So yes, it's a good deal currently, but in the long term, you will still need, yeah, let's say you move to a CPU that has more cores than your current one, you will still need to buy a 16 pack, core pack as well. Essential kits currently will still be available as perpetual, but we don't know what the, and I will use the previous question about the Broadcom deal. We don't know what will change about that when Broadcom takes over. There may be a complete discontinuation of the essential kit because Broadcom is not a company that likes to work with SMBs. And about the migration of VMware to OpenStack process, I would recommend to go either to a KVM or another KVM or Xen, which both exist and are quite used, which have a way to convert VMDKs to their format. And to add on the Broadcom deal closure, is what we're seeing now wasn't even planned by Broadcom. VMware was already planning that move to the subscription model and the software as a service model before even the Broadcom acquisition. That was something I heard in 2018 when they put the VDI licensing as a subscription. So and it took them 4 years to release this the subscription model for other products, but the Horizon and the Workspace ONE licensing that was subscription from 2018 was just a way of them to move towards that for every single product. And I feel from my point of view, I feel the Broadcom closure will even add more into that. Like some, I expect even some business units at VMware to be sold, right? Just so VMware will concentrate on the core products according to Broadcom. And the licensing change could accelerate customer to the public cloud, but could also accelerate customers to look at alternatives that do exist. And they're starting, those alternatives are starting to look better and better. And from my point of view, there's a lot that could be done to make sure that customers get the best out of both worlds. But at the same time, I'm fearing that licensing change can push customer to the cloud because it may cause the loyalty that people had to VMware to move away from it. And Mike, for that, the current model, the 16 core packs, we can share the MSRP. I don't have it currently with me right now, but we can share it with. If you ask your account team, they can ask they will have that answer for you because it's a bit complex since we don't understand which level of licensing and all that stuff that you have. It's why it's better to contact your account team to make sure you have the right the right details being sent to you. For the Mike, for the conversion from one socket to 16 cores is currently that's what they believe is 80% of the VMware licensing is 16 cores is one CPU for them. So that's how they calculated it as well. And price will most likely increase, yes, with the Broadcom acquisition. That is what I feel as well. The price will increase quite quickly from my perspective, yes. Greg, it's for license. Because yes, you can't mix a 16 core pack between CPUs. Dustin, yes, CDW can provide you a, a non-committing pricing just to show you the difference in pricing between your current licensing and subscription and SaaS if you need it. That's something we're quite open to do, and that's why we have a team of people working for CDW. MT, yes, we that's part of my job to if customers ask for alternative on-premise products, we as CDW as other partners that do on-premise stuff, and you would find that even the perpetual licensing of VMware is expensive compared to those solutions. Geraldo, yes, they're converting one socket perpetual to 16 cores subscription. And if you have to renew this year, I would advise to contact your account team so we can get you a promotion from 16 cores to 24 cores. Yeah, Dustin, that's my view as well. I work a lot with other products and that's why I want when I ask people to talk to their account team to see because we can offer costing and professional service to show cost to migrate from, let's say, VMware to another solution, even if it's public cloud, private cloud, or anything. That's why we wanted to be completely open with all of you because we feel that VMware is doing a mistake on our side. We know that moving away is not for everyone, but for those who feel that VMware will be so expensive, there's ways that we can help them. It's Volker, the calculation of the packs is per node and per CPU on those nodes. So a 24 core CPUs would be 2 packs, and two 24 cores would be 4 packs. It's something I complain quite a lot about to VMware about because it doesn't make sense, but that's how they decided to do it. Yes, it's even more of a cash grab than people think. vCenter is licensed for free with the subscription model. it's included in the subscription model for free. So let's say you have it where you buy like license vSphere subscription license, vCenter is included. And it's unlimited vCenters. Let's say you need 20 vCenters in your environment. You don't need to buy 20 vCenter license. It's all included with your subscription license. For smaller customers, yes. 7.0 doesn't have the subscription model. It starts at 8.0, but 8.0 also has the perpetual licensing still. You will at 9.0, I expect to have no more perpetual licensing from it. From what I gathered and what people tell me that I'm not allowed, they shouldn't tell, but some people at VMware are also not happy with this model. Yes, AMD has some 96 cores and Intel has some 60 cores. And the next generation will have 128 cores on AMD and 120 on Intel. So it gets really bad on those CPU license. Though even though one CPU was 32 cores, at least at 96, it was only 4 license. Now it's 6 to 8 packs. And I understand that it's and that each pack costs the same as a CPU license. That's the worst thing. And Greg, they're not hurting Intel and AMD at all. Intel and AMD don't care about VMware. That's how small of an impact VMware has into their business. Because if I look at Europe, because I'm talking to my UK counterparts, and as a global org, CDW has some meetings between all the all around the world, and I talk often to my counterparts in Europe. In Europe, a lot of customers are not with VMware. They're with KVM. They're with open source solutions because there's requirements in some of those countries by law to not to use open source as much as possible. Like I think it's Mike that was talking about OpenStack earlier. That's what they use mostly in Europe. From my discussions with my counterparts on the other side of the Atlantic. And for me, that's the biggest issue that I see VMware hitting is CPU companies will completely ignore them more and more, and it will cost more to customers just to upgrade to the newest and greatest servers. And that's my biggest fear because I want our customers to have to invest the best way possible and also to protect those investments over the life cycle of the servers, of the equipment, which is quite important as well. And Arthur, I laugh quite a bit when VMware tells me, yeah, 16 CPU cores is a lot of cores. I'm like, yeah, but we see a lot more higher core count CPUs lately. There's not that much under 16 anymore. I think even from Sapphire Rapids from Intel, the smallest silver CPU, which is the lowest two CPU platform, has 16 core, and it goes up to 60. While AMD, the lowest Genoa CPU is 24 or 32 because they think that lower than that is causing issues even on their side. Arthur, you can still use your perpetual licensing until the even on your generation until the that licensing can't be renewed anymore. So if let's say you buy a 32 core from AMD or Intel for your new servers, you can still use your CPU license on it until there's no more renewal possible for those license, or you decide to stay on that version of VMware indefinitely. I'm currently VMware doesn't like me because I mostly still go for perpetual for customers. Yes, Chris. Because I feel that the subscription is not a good deal for most environment yet. Unl Unless they reduce the pricing a lot, I don't see a reason to let uh, let 16 cores on the table for now. Yes, Sinead is our business development manager and also our licensing specialist, and sh we both decided to not go with subscription for until we're forced to. Is there any other question before we let all of you go? Greg, they do that on all customers. I will tell you, I've seen it multiple times, and it caused issues with some of my customers as well, and fairly large customers too. And I will tell everyone on this call this, if VMware is trying to push you into the software as a service model, you can tell them that you need data residency, and until then, you're not gonna do it. And they will stop asking. That's a trick I found out with some of my customers that we did that, and VMware stopped asking about the subscription model. Uh, for the software as a service and the subscription model, there's queues for all of it. Their SKU is per core, but you can only sell per 16 core pack. So that's something I can share with you, Greg. Through as you're also a CDW employee, I can share that all of that with you internally. And I would like to thank everyone for coming today. And If there's any questions you have about and if VMware is trying to push you into the subscription model, send a message to your account team. We're there to fight with you. We're not there to bend over for VMware. We're gonna fight with you, and we're gonna make sure you get the best out of everything. And that's something I want to thank everyone. And I would say, have a nice day, everyone, and let's talk again soon.
Thank you so much, JC, for all that information. And if you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to message us. We can send our contact information over after the session to everyone. Yeah, so thank you again. If we didn't answer any questions, please send us a message. We'll be more than happy to.
Thanks, JC. Thanks, Shanique.